Hey, how's it going? I'm a diagnosed narcissist, but with that being said, keep in mind that I am not a licensed professional. So with that out of the way, um, I've been feeling pretty lost. I don't exactly know what the basis of this video is going to be about. Well, I mean, I do. I already have the title in mind. Yeah, you saw it as you're watching it because you're watching it from the future while I'm recording it right now. But I wanted to give more of an idea on what it is, what it feels like to be a narcissist because yes, yeah, obviously that's what a good chunk of my videos are about. I placed it on my YouTube bio, NPD, because I struggle with NPD, and that's why disorder is in the acronym NPD, Narcissistic Personality Disorder. So I guess I mean I could say that before making this video, what I was thinking of was I just think that obviously, much like a lot of mental illnesses in general, there's a lot of misconceptions and things that like people don't understand, which is why I think that when I've made my videos, I've gotten some comments from people telling me that like, oh, I'm not a narcissist because of X, Y, and Z and whatnot. So I guess I wanted to talk about what I think narcissism is at its core. But that's the thing, though. That's the paradox. That's the irony of it, because there is no core to being a narcissist, or essentially being a cluster B person in general. The insecurity, a lot of times, is not necessarily even shame, if you ask me. It's just this sense of just not being there, like as if you don't actually exist. And I don't know. I guess in a way, narcissistic personality disorder is literally a disorder of not even necessarily superiority, because superiority is the cope. But basically, I don't even necessarily think shame sometimes, although I do feel that a lot of times. I think a lot of times the shame just comes from this idea that I can't preserve my illusion of superiority because I'm just filled with this fucking, I don't know, disgust for myself and disgust for everything because nothing's perfect, right? No one's perfect. The universe isn't perfect. People aren't perfect. We're just here on accident and we're trying our best to cope along as we go, and everyone's going to die, blah, blah, blah. So essentially, what I think NPD is at its core is basically a disorder of not knowing who you are, which just covers the entire cluster B spectrum in general, regardless of the disorder. But I guess as a narcissist, I think you're constantly always on edge, and maybe this is why it comes across as a sense of fragility that people see with narcissists being these like incredibly fragile people, because I hate thinking of myself as fragile. But I do feel fragile. But then again I don't. Or it keeps switching and it keeps going back and forth. So it's this constant reminder every single day that I have no stable sense of self, that I don't feel like an actual human being, and that nothing is real and nothing is personal. My facade or illusion of superiority that I wish I could maintain, it never stays. And, you know, people can't feel pain for long up until they just like numb out. And maybe in a lot of cases, when it comes to the shame that I, as a narcissist, feel, I can't even retain to that either. Because then again, it just disappears. And, then again, I'm just caught here in like, I don't, I don't even know how to explain my being. It's like, okay, I get up every day and I just feel this like mild sense of frustration. And in a way, I am glad to feel that mild sense of frustration because, in a way, there's a part of me that just wants to lose it and just, I don't know, fucking bash my head against the wall or just fucking, I don't know, or it's like, what am I running away from? Or what am I trying to, you know, dissociate from? I don't get it. Or what am I trying to latch onto? These are all the questions. Like, I'm drowning in a sea of identity problems and it just never stops. And it's so difficult to accept help from other people because I feel like if I do, I'm just giving myself away to them. And in a way, that's where I can kind of relate with borderlines. I mean, borderlines have an easier time giving themselves to other people, obviously, but then that's when they split and they fucking, lash out in ways that they do, not to add to the stigma or anything, obviously. But as a narcissist, I split as well. It's probably just a common thing across all cluster B disorders that we, you know, just split because I want to accept help, let's say, or not even just help, or even just like I want to accept relationships and be, you know, part of something other than myself. But then it feels like I'm betraying myself, which is so ironic and paradoxical because I'm not even comfortable with myself. So it's like no matter where I go, I'm just in this constant state of paranoia, like either with myself or with anyone else. And it's like it never stops. It's like I can only look after myself, but I don't even like myself either. But then, yes, I do. I think like I, I don't get how it can work in a flip of a switch, whereas people have this like whole part of themselves that they just see as they experience life, and they're not just consumed in like the sweeping moment of whatever it is that they're feeling right now. Because whatever it is that I feel right now is the closest to like I don't know what can be real. That's why I don't know. I have a hard time getting over difficulties in relationships that I've gone through. I mean, everybody does, obviously. Nobody likes the, I guess, like painful, like frustrating or like irritating parts in like a relationship. But I guess when I think about it now, I'm like forgiveness is actually a skill because like I feel like I'm logical enough to tell myself that like okay, no one's perfect. Just because somebody hypothetically did hurt me, it doesn't necessarily mean that always they were trying to hurt me. But it's like when you latch on to barely any feelings that you have because it doesn't even feel like my feelings are real. It consumes your whole identity. And I guess this is where the whole like black and white thing comes from. And then, but then later on, it just fades away. Like it doesn't even matter. So it's like, why did that even happen? Or what am I even talking about? What, what am I even trying to explain? I don't understand. Because it's like, okay, it's like being so nothing and everything all at once. Like I just don't understand. Because if you were to describe me, like if I'm actually being honest with myself to like the best of my ability, if you were to describe me as an arrogant prick, I I align with that. If you were to say I'm some like insecure, like weak, pathetic person, I would also align with that. But then it's like in the flip of a switch, I'll like let's say fight over or yeah, it's like also there's like this inkling to just like contradict everything just because you can't trust it, I guess. Like I could be here in my mopey state and then somebody might tell me, "Oh, you're actually pretty cool. You're actually pretty chill." And it's like I'll feel like they need to do more. They need to demonstrate more cuz like if you really think that I'm good enough, then in a way, and I know it's unrealistic, then just devote your life to me. Just be my supply, quote unquote. But then again, sometimes I can also agree with it. I'm just like, oh yeah, 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 of course I am. But then when I'm stuck in a weak state, I don't know how else to like put it, then anyone trying to help me, even in a genuine way, it just feels like they're like, I don't know, like denying me, I guess. So it's like I'm constantly stuck in that like cycle of pain, or like I'm constantly stuck in my I don't know, like my own interpretation, and I just can't connect with anything or anyone. I like it's like I can't even connect with myself. It's just I don't know. Like I'm here. I don't know what I'm waiting for, or I mean, what's gonna happen? I mean, no one does, right? But then I don't know. It's like low key in my like just some like quiet part in my mind that's like still loud is like just wait for the next attack, wait for the next I don't know, problem that will arise because life is nothing other than problems and difficulties. And, you know, it's just, I don't know, it feels impossible to be a person. I guess that's what I'll say about having NPD. Or if any of my other fellow cluster Bs are watching this, then do you understand what I mean? It just feels like it's impossible to be a person. Like this is an evolutionary joke that never should have occurred. Uh, Whatever. I guess I'll leave it at that.